Dear students, now I will start the second part or video number 2 of the unit Origin and Development of Society. Dear students, the first concept is nature of human society. The nature of human society is linked with the issue of relationship of man and society. Regarding this issue, Aristotle viewed that man is a social animal by nature. By this viewpoint, it can be asserted that a man who doesn't live in a society is either a beast or God. The statement, man is a social animal, involves some important questions like in what sense is man a social animal? What is the nature of our dependence upon society? What types of relation exist between individual and a social system? There are mainly two theories associated with the relationship individual and society. They are such as the social contract theory and the organic theory. These two theories have been discussed in the first part of the video 1. There is some form or nature of human society like the animal society. All the people like to live together in a society just as animals live or move in a group. Yet some unique nature of human beings distinguish the human societies from the animal society. The most important distinction between the human society and the animal society is that people can judge or have a thinking capacity on what is good or bad. On the other hand, this capacity or power is missing in case of animal society. The communication system in human societies is very advanced. On the other hand, in case of animal societies, the communication system is not as advanced as compared to the human societies. Therefore, by the help of communication, people able to know each other or enable to transmit culture or other important information from one generation to another. But in case of animal world, that is absent because of non-adequate communication system. Human societies give freedom to individuals according to their necessity, but there are no such provisions in the animal societies. People can adopt themselves in case of changing environment, but this changing nature or adaptability in case of animal societies is missing. Now, the concept is elements of society. There are three elements of society which are prerequisites of society. First one is likeness. It is an essential condition of a society. MacIver holds that society means likeness. The sense of likeness refers back to the early society or kingship. But the modern society focuses on the broader outlook and indicates the element of likeness to the principle of nationality or one world. Second one is interdependence. It is also an essential element of a society. Not only a man is interdependent on others for living in a society, but also a country or a continent depends on other countries or other continents for the welfare of all from economic, social and political side. If communication fails or interrupts, a man in a society or a country or a continent fails in case of welfare of all. The world organizations like NATO, SAARC, UNESCO, etc. are excellent examples of interdependence of one country on another country or one continent on another continent for the betterment of people in general. Third one is cooperation. It is also considered an essential element of a society. Without cooperation, no society can exist. If people do not cooperate with each other, the concept of happiness or peace will no longer exist in our society. MacIver, in the definition of society as some other elements of society, he defines it as a system of uses and procedures, authorship and mutual aid of many groupings and divisions, of controls of human behavior and liberties. This definition consists of 7 elements of society. Firstly, we find some uses which are connected with marriage, family, education, religion, food, and language in society. These differ from society to society. Secondly, there are procedures which are also known as the models of modes of action in every society which maintain its unity and organization. Thirdly, the presence of an authority is also a necessary element in order to maintain order in a society. Fourthly, no society can be stable unless and until there is feeling of mutual aid among its members. Fifthly, there are many groupings and divisions in a society, such as family, village, and city. Sixthly, controls are necessary for the organizations of society. Seventh, liberty and control go together in a society. Without liberty, man cannot develop his personality. Again, it does not mean to violate individuals' liberty by controlling individuals' behavior. Rather, it helps to develop one's own personality without sacrificing his her liberty. It can be helped that society involves the elements of likeness and interdependence. These two feelings must be essentially present in every individual, which is also known as a community feeling. Society is not a mere institution or platform or agency of an individuals. Rather, it is considered a system of social relationship. Society is not an artificial phenomenon. Rather, it is a creation of natural instinct of human beings. So society is a natural organization. Aristotle therefore states that man is by nature a social animal. As long as human instincts will act as a regulatory force, society will continue to exist. Now, dear students, now the important concept is characteristics of society. Society is a collection of people. One of the characteristics of society is that it consists of people. We cannot think of a society without people. So people are considered necessary or prerequisite component of a society. Social life exists only when there is a social relationship among men. The second characteristics of society is mutual interaction and awareness among the members of society. Society implies goodwill and contact among the members in their minds. An individual will remain a member of a society when his goodwill and contact with other members persist. Without goodwill and awareness, social relationship cannot be formed or maintained. That is why interaction among members and awareness to social relationship are considered essential characteristics of society. The third characteristic of society is likeness. It indicates the similarities pertaining to people's needs, works, aims, ideals, values, and outlook towards life. By the cases of similarities, people come together and make a bond among the members of a society, and consequently, social relationship grows up among people. In this way, it is possible to unite people or to build a common platform among like-minded people. Likeness depends upon like-mindedness. Without like-mindedness, one cannot feel happy in any society. Fourth one is differences. Society is based on the differences which occur in terms of age, sex, capabilities, capacities, culture, religion, and so on. The differences involved in case of work indicate the distribution of work that shows that none is to do everything. The fifth one is interdependence. This is considered one of the basic features of society. It is true that no man is perfect, so on the basis of the premise, it can be derived the point that people are dependent on others in society. Therefore, the concept of interdependence is an important feature of in a society. Sixth one is cooperation. It is also an important feature of society. To live in a society peacefully or to lead a meaningful life, we have to be cooperative in our life. As we live in a society, so cooperation will be a significant element. Now the important characteristic is permanence. Society is a permanent entity. It exists irrespective of class, creed, and race. It will exist or remain the same if an individual wants to live without a society. Now the important one is organize. It is an organized or structured system. People live in that system by indicating its smooth functioning. Now the another important characteristic of society is common culture. Living in a society, people share a common culture that identifies the society. Now, dear students, you have to test yourself by asking some question. First one is which element is considered most important in society? Second one is mention the important distinction between human society and the animal society. Now, next question, state the important relationship between individual and society. Another one is what are the three elements of society and what are the characteristics of society. Now, another very important concept is the types of societies. From the ancient period to the modern era, human existence comes across different forms of society. They are such as hunting and food gathering societies, pastoral societies, the agrarian societies, modern societies, and industrial societies. Now, let us discuss these societies in detailed manner. First one is hunters and food gathering society. This type of society is considered the earliest type of society in the history of mankind. At a primitive stage, people lived in a group and acquired their food from hunting. Fishing in the seas, rivers, and local ponds or water bodies, and collecting edible plants, leaves, fruits, and nuts from the jungle and forest. Therefore, it is considered the first form of the evolution and the origin of society. The present existence of this kind of society is very few and found in the parts of Asia, Africa, and Latin America countries. These societies are characterized by the primitive technology and use of instruments like bows and arrows, spears, stone missiles, slings, etc. For hunting and tools like rods, harpoons, spears, nets, etc. for fishing. These societies use instruments for digging and building and utilize utensils for cooking. There are different groups found within the same society. These societies have some fixed territories, and people, in case of searching food, migrate from one territory to another. Now, another society is pastoral societies. These societies refer to the rearing and herding of animals such as cattle, goats, sheep, camels, or horses. It is found in the parts of Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. As these societies fully depend on the domesticated animals, so they are located in dense grasslands, mountainous regions, and deserts. The people of these societies migrate from one place to another because of shortage of food involved in case of domesticated animals. These societies are nomadic in nature and usually use animal transport for communication. These societies are larger in size than the hunting and food gathering societies. Now, another society is agrarian societies. These societies practice some form of cattle cultivation. This form of cattle cultivation in the present time has been developed as horticulture or the cultivation of plants and flowers in small gardens. This type of cultivation helps group of people to settle in one place and also helps to strengthen the economy of the group. These societies are larger in group than the hunting and the food gathering society. These societies acquire wealth and exchange or trade things with the other group of society. These societies are also based on domestication of animals. In due course, the cultivation of plants in these societies develop into subtle agricultural production as found in the present time where the use of modern equipments or technologies is found. Now, another important one is non-industrial urban centers or traditional states. History shows that there existed developed urban societies in the different parts of the world during 6000 BCE. After several years, these societies had developed cities and they were classified on the basis of wealth and power. At that time, the cities were ruled by kings or emperors. The societies were called civilization and were characterized by the use of writing, development of science and technology, and the arts. They had forms of government which were relatively developed, hence they were called traditional states. These societies were also known as empires, which were large in size and were involved in wars and conquests. The civilization of China, Rome, the Indus Valley civilization, and the Mayan civilization are examples of such societies. These societies were characterized by the division of labor, which was based on age and sex. As a result, the activities of traders, soldiers, government officials were considered specialized in these societies. Besides, they also represented a differentiation between ruler castes and the masses. This pictured the presence of slavery in these societies. Now, modern industrial societies. Industrial revolution started in England in the 17th and 18th century. Its effect was not confined to England. Rather, it influenced the rest of the world as well. The machine-made production and the extensive use of science and technology in the different fields were the immediate effects of the industrial revolution. It can also be opined that the formation of industries was also an innovative and emerging trend by industrial revolution in the different parts of the world. It also started the trend of replacing human resource by machines. Another important consequence of the age of industrialization was the appearance of a division of labor, which is based on the specialization of skills and knowledge in different areas. Therefore, it can be asserted that it has changed the structure of job market and consequently transformed the agrarian society into industrial states. Therefore, in a sense, the Industrial Revolution has created a trend of urbanization. In fact, it has formed a global village in which people can easily come into contact to one another by overlooking the barriers of time and place. Now, dear students, again, there are some questions for you. The first one is, what are the different forms of society? Which type of society is considered the first form of evolution and the origin of society? Another important one is, where do you find the hunters and food gathering societies? Another important question, that is, what do you mean by pastoral societies? And give some examples of traditional states. Now, these are some questions that is given to you. Ask yourself and find the answers from the content given to you. Now, dear students, there are some important points or highlighting points given to you, that is, let us sum up. Interdependence is an essential element of a society. Not only a man is dependent on others for living in a society, but also a country or a continent depend on other countries or other continents regarding peaceful living from economic, social and political side. The world organizations like NATO, SAARC, UNESCO, etc. are the excellent examples of interdependence of one country to another countries or one continent to another continent. The second characteristic of society is mutual interaction and awareness among the members of society. Society depicts the social relationship, goodwill, and contact among the members. An individual will remain a member of society when his goodwill and contact to other members persist. Without goodwill and awareness to social relationship, society cannot be formed. It is true that man is perfect, no man is perfect. So on the basis of the premise, it can be derived that people are dependent on others in society. Therefore, the concept of interdependence is an important feature of a society. People thought that the concept of might is right or the survival of the fittest was not a healthier concept of living in a social order. Therefore, people thought of an alternative concept of living in which poor people or the weaker section also can get equal advantage for living in a social setup. In this way, the concept of might is right was displaced by people for a structured or a better way of life. As a result, the concept of live and let to live come into existence, and people search for a new way of life by discrediting the concept of might is right. Hunters and food gathering society is considered the earliest type of society in the history of mankind. At a primitive stage, people lived in a group and acquired their food from hunting, fishing in the seas, rivers, local ponds, water bodies, and collecting edible plants, leaves, fruits, nuts from jungle and forest. Therefore, it is considered the first form of the evolution and the origin of societies. Industrial revolution started in England in the 17th and 18th century. Its effect was not confined to England alone. Rather, it influenced the rest of the world. Machines made production and extensive use of science and technology in the different fields were the immediate effects of the Industrial Revolution. It can also be opined that the formation of industries was also an innovative and emerging trend initiated by the Industrial Revolution in the different parts of the world. Now, dear students, these are some the highlighting points given to you. Now, in order to understand or comprehend this unit origin and development of society, you have to study some important books as reference books. First one is that is Vidyabhushan, then Dear Sachdeva, that is textbook of sociology, then Samir Dasgupta's book and Poulami Saha, An Introduction to Sociology, John Perry and Era Perry's book Contemporary Society, then M. Francis Contemporary Sociology. Now, dear students, this is all about the unit origin and development of society. Thank you.